Hello guys, this is Mahendra Jakulwar and once again welcome to my YouTube channel. Dear friends, in previous videos we have studied about the kinetic energy and potential energy of an object. So in this video we are going to start the new concept, that is transformation of energy. Dear friends, before starting this video I request you all, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. As you know that energy exists in various forms. Out of this, we have studied many in the last video. So now in this video, we are going to learn the transformation of energy. As you know that the energy can be transformed from one form to another form. For example, in your textbook on page number 25, one diagram is given there. In that, the electrical energy is transferred in various forms. As we know that electrical energy can be transformed into heat energy. And what is the device which converts the electrical energy into heat energy? That is, as we know that, electric heater. In electric heater, the electrical energy is converted into heat energy. Second one is electrical energy can be converted into light energy. The well-known example of this is the electric bulb, in which the electrical energy can be converted into light energy. And there are so many examples in which one form of energy can be converted into another form. Let us see one more example in which the electrical energy is converted into sound energy. And the best example is speaker. In speaker, the electrical energy is get converted into sound energy. And reverse to this, in which the sound energy is converted into electrical energy, microphone, in which the sound energies get converted into electrical energy. So dear friends, in this way, one form of energy can be converted into another form of energy. I hope you understand this concept. Our next concept is law of conservation of energy. The word conservation means remains constant. It will never change. So what is the statement for law of conservation of energy? So statement is, the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be converted from one form to another form. In other words, you can say that the total energy of the universe remains constant. So what is the statement? Energy cannot be created or it not be destroyed. एनर्जी को हम क्रिएट नहीं कर सकते और इसको डिस्ट्रॉय भी नहीं कर सकते, बल्कि इसका एक फॉर्म में से दूसरे फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. So this is the simple statement for law of conservation of energy. या फिर आप बोल सकते हो the total energy of the universe always remains constant. यूनिवर्स की जितनी भी टोटल एनर्जी है वो हमेशा कांस्टेंट होती है, वो चेंज नहीं होती. हाँ, उसका फॉर्म चेंज हो सकता है, लेकिन the total energy will always remains constant. Let us see the simple example you might have studied in previous standard, that is the green plants prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. What happens in photosynthesis? In photosynthesis, green plants prepare their own food with the help of sunlight and special pigment which are present in the green leaves that are called as chloroplast. Okay, so with the help of this chloroplast or chlorophyll pigment and the sunlight, the green plants convert the light energy into chemical energy. This is the best example. Here also, the energy neither be created nor be destroyed. यहाँ पे एनर्जी क्रिएट नहीं हो रही है या फिर कोई एनर्जी डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं हो रही है. हम ऐसे बोल नहीं सकते कि यहाँ पे लाइट एनर्जी डिस्ट्रॉय हो गई और केमिकल एनर्जी क्रिएट हो गई, बट हम ऐसे बोल सकते हैं द लाइट एनर्जी इज गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू chemical energy. So this is the simple example of law of conservation of energy. One more example, let us see. During the launching of rocket or launching of satellite, you might have seen that in rocket or satellite launch vehicle, the chemicals are filled, the fuel is filled. The fuel is nothing but the chemical. When we ignite the satellite launch vehicle, at that time, this chemical energy which is present in the satellite launch vehicle is get converted into another form of energy. So in which form this energy is converted? that is converted into kinetic energy. So the chemical energy which is present in the satellite launch vehicle that gives the kinetic energy to this vehicle, and so that the satellite launch vehicle will go into the space. So dear friends, finally, what is our conclusion? Our conclusion is energy neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be transferred from one form to another form. एनर्जी को हम क्रिएट नहीं कर सकते और इसको डिस्ट्रॉय भी नहीं कर सकते, बल्कि इसका एक फॉर्म में से दूसरे फॉर्म में ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं. या फिर अदर वर्ड में आप ये बोल सकते हो द टोटल एनर्जी ऑफ द यूनिवर्स रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट. इसके लिए एक एग्जांपल देखते हैं हम कि टोटल एनर्जी कैसे कंजर्व होती है, टोटल एनर्जी कैसे कांस्टेंट होती है, राइट. तो उसके लिए हमको समझना होगा एक नया कंसेप्ट, दैट इज फ्री फॉल. ओके, फ्री फॉल मीन्स व्हाट? एक्चुअली कोई भी चीज ऊपर से नीचे गिर रही है तो इसको हम फ्री फॉल नहीं बोल सकते, राइट. फ्री फॉल की डेफिनेशन अगर देखा जाए, सो व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ फ्री फॉल? व्हेन द ऑब्जेक्ट इज मूविंग अंडर द सोलो इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स. जब कोई भी बॉडी सिर्फ और सिर्फ ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स के वजह से मूव हो रही है, तो उस बॉडी के मोशन को हम बोल सकते हैं फ्री फॉल. इन दैट केस you can say that body is in state of free fall, or you can say the body is freely falling. So what is the necessary condition for free fall? Only one force should act on that object, that is gravitational force. No other force should act on that object. In that case only you can say that the motion of the body is free fall. The actual free fall is possible in vacuum, because as you know that when the body is moving in the atmosphere, at that time there are so many forces acts on that object other than the gravitational force. But according to definition, what is free fall? If the body is moving only because of the gravitational force, that is called as free fall. But in atmosphere, on the earth surface, what happens when the body is falling? At that time the frictional force due to air and the buoyant force due to air, these other forces also acts on that object. So according to definition, true free fall is possible only in vacuum. ये चीज हमेशा आपको ध्यान में रखनी है, राइट. जो रियल फ्री फॉल है, ट्रू फ्री फॉल है, वो कहां पे पॉसिबल है? वैक्यूम में. बिकॉज इन वैक्यूम देर इज नो अदर फोर्सेस दैन ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स. अब हम देखते हैं हाउ द टोटल एनर्जी ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट. So for that, we have to consider one simple example. So let us consider an object having mass m is at point A, which is at height h from the earth surface. This is the earth surface, and now the object is at point A, which is at height h from this earth surface. Let us consider one more point B, which is at a distance x from this point A. So what is the distance between point A and B? That is x. And what is the total height of this object? That is, when it is at point A, the total height of the object is h. The distance AB is x and total height is h. Therefore, what is the distance BC? That is, of course, that will become h minus x. This is the distance between the point B and C. To understand how the total energy of the object remains constant, let us calculate the energy of the object at a different position. The total energy of the object at these all three positions, that is A, B and C. Okay. To calculate the total energy of the object, we have to calculate the kinetic energy and potential energy of the object. As you know that here we have taken an object having mass small m. What is the mass of the object? It is small m. Then at point A, what will be the kinetic energy of this object? At point A, the initial velocity of the object, initial velocity is denoted by letter u, as you know that. The initial velocity at this point is 0, right? Therefore, what is the kinetic energy of the object at point A? Therefore, we have to calculate kinetic energy of the object at point A. That is Ke at A. As you know that formula for kinetic energy, that is half mv square, but here is the velocity we have taken, that is initial velocity. Therefore, instead of v, we can write u here. Half mu square. But what is the initial velocity of the object when it is at point A? It is 0. Therefore, this all term will become 0. So, when the body is at point A, its kinetic energy is what? 0. Because as we know that the body is not moving now. It is at rest. When an object is at rest, its kinetic energy is always 0. Therefore, at point A, we get the kinetic energy of the object is 0. Let us calculate the potential energy of the object. So, what will be the potential energy of the object? The potential energy of the object at point A, we know the formula for potential energy, that is mg into h. Okay, m is the mass of the object, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height of the object. So, this is the potential energy of the object at point A. Now, from these kinetic energy and potential energy, we can find the total energy of the object. Therefore, total energy of the object at point A is equal to, what is the formula of total energy? Kinetic energy plus potential energy. So, kinetic energy is 0 from this equation and potential energy is mgh. Okay. Therefore, what is the total energy of the object at point A? That is mgh. This is the total energy of the object at point A. Let us consider this is equation number 1. Now we will calculate the total energy of the object at point B. जैसे अभी हमने point A के लिए बॉडी का टोटल एनर्जी कैलकुलेट किया, वैसे ही हम पॉइंट B पे बॉडी का टोटल एनर्जी कितना रहेगा ये कैलकुलेट करने वाले हैं. तो उसके लिए भी हमको सेम फार्मूला यूज करना पड़ेगा. दैट इज टोटल एनर्जी एट पॉइंट बी जब हम निकालना है तो उसके लिए हमको बी पॉइंट पे काइनेटिक एनर्जी कैलकुलेट करनी पड़ेगी और उसी पॉइंट पे उसकी पोटेंशियल एनर्जी भी कैलकुलेट करनी पड़ेगी. सो लेट्स कैलकुलेट द टोटल एनर्जी एट पॉइंट बी. लेकिन जब बॉडी पॉइंट बी पे आएगी तब उसकी इनिशियल वेलोसिटी u जो कि 0 थी, अब वो 0 नहीं रहेगी, वो कुछ बढ़ जाएगी. राइट, उसकी इनिशियल वेलोसिटी चेंज हो जाएगी. एट पॉइंट बी लेट अस कंसिडर द वेलोसिटी ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट एट पॉइंट बी इज vb. राइट, कितनी रहेगी उसकी वेलोसिटी? vb. व्हाट इज द डिस्टेंस ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट? इस ऑब्जेक्ट का डिस्टेंस क्या रहेगा? राइट, a से b तक के, दैट इज x. From the picture you can clearly see that the distance between the point A and B is x. And the acceleration of the body, acceleration क्या रहेगा? Acceleration किसके वजह से प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है बॉडी में? That is because of gravitational force of the earth. So as you know that the acceleration which is produced by the gravitational force of the earth, that is called as acceleration due to gravity. So in place of A, we can write g here. So now we have this data, that is velocity of the object at point B is vb, distance is x and acceleration is small g. So from the third equation of motion, Newton's third equation of motion, we know that v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, let's put the values. In place of v, we can write vb here, vb square. What was the initial velocity of the object when it is at point A? That is 0. As you know that u is equal to 0. Therefore, 0 square is equal to 0 plus 2 into A is equal to g रहेगा यहाँ पे, into S की जगह पे क्या लिख सकते हैं? X लिख सकते हैं. Okay? Because what is the distance? It is x. So this is x. Vb square is equal to 2gx. Okay. Now let's calculate the kinetic energy of the object at point B. That is Ke at point B half m Vb square. Okay? Because the velocity object at point B is what? Vb. Let's put the values. Half into m and Vb square is equal to what? 2gx from this equation. Therefore 2g into x. So this 2 get cancelled and we'll get mgx. This is what kinetic energy of the object at point B. अब हमको इस बॉडी का पॉइंट बी पे पोटेंशियल एनर्जी भी कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा. फार्मूला क्या है पोटेंशियल एनर्जी का? mgh. तो व्हाट इज द हाइट ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट एट पॉइंट बी? इस बॉडी का पॉइंट बी पे हाइट कितना होगा? जब हाइट मेजर करते हैं हम नीचे से ऊपर मेजर करते हैं. सो व्हाट इज द हाइट ऑफ द बॉडी एट पॉइंट बी? दैट इज h minus x. So let's calculate the potential energy of the object at point B. That will equal to m into g. And what is the height? Height is h minus x. Okay, let's solve this. This is mg into h minus mg into x. mg into x. So this is the potential energy of the object at point B. Now we can calculate the total energy of the object. As you know that total energy of the object at point B is equal to what? Kinetic energy of the object at point B plus potential energy of the object at point B. And we have calculated the kinetic energy of the object at point B. That is what? M into G into X plus what is the potential energy? Just we have calculated. That is mgh minus mgx. So here we can write mgh minus mgx. So here plus mgx and this minus mgx get cancelled. Therefore, we will get total energy at point B is mg into h. This is total energy of the object at point B. Let us consider this is equation number 2. Now let's calculate the total energy of the object at point C. At point C, when the body reaches to the point C, as you know that its velocity will become vc. Okay. And its initial velocity u is again 0. What is the distance of the object when it is at point C? That is h. It is total distance of the object when it is reaches to the point C. Okay? जब बॉडी पॉइंट C पे रीच हो जाएगा वो कितना डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल करेगा? वो डिस्टेंस होगा h के बराबर. ओके. एंड व्हाट इज द एक्सेलरेशन? The acceleration we take as a small g. Okay. Now let's calculate the kinetic energy of the object at point C. To calculate kinetic energy, we have to find the value of vc square, right? So from the Newton's third equation of motion, we know that vc square is equal to u square plus 2as. Let's put value. U is 0 plus 2 into, instead of a we can write g here, and what is the s? Total distance is h. Okay. So this vc square is equal to, we get 2gh. Now let's put this value in the formula of kinetic energy. That is kinetic energy at point C is equal to half m vc square, because the velocity of the object at point C is vc. Let's put the values half into m, and what is vc square? Vc square is equal to 2gh. 2 into gh. This 2 get cancelled. Therefore, we will get kinetic energy at point C is equal to mg into h. Okay? जब बॉडी ग्राउंड पे होती है, when this body reaches to the point C, means when it is reaches to the ground, at that time what is the height of the object? The height of the object will become 0, because ground पे object की height क्या होती है? 0, right? Therefore, when we calculate the potential energy of the object at point C, that is potential energy of the object at point C is equal to what? mg into h. But what is the height here? What is the height at point C? The height is 0. Therefore, this total term, that is potential energy at point C is equal to 0. Because the height of the object at point C is 0, therefore 0 into something is 0. Therefore, we will get potential energy of the object at point C is 0. We have calculated kinetic energy and potential energy at point C. Now, what is the total energy? The total energy of the object at point C is equal to kinetic energy of the object at point C plus potential energy of the object at point C. Therefore, the total energy of the object at point C is equal to, this kinetic energy is equal to mgh plus 0. Therefore, the total energy will become mgh. This is the equation number 3. From these all three equations, that is equation number 1, equation number 2 and equation number 3, what we will get? What we notice? We notice that the total energy of the object at point A and the total energy of the object at point B and total energy of the object at point C is the same. Because here you can see the total energy at point A is mgh, total energy at point B is also mgh, and total energy at point C is mgh. So from this discussion, from these three equations, we can say that during the free fall of any object, the total energy of the object remains constant at each and every point. If you take some more points other than this ABC, at that point also you will get the total energy of the object is constant. इसमें से आप ये बोल सकते हो कि जब बॉडी फ्री फॉल में होती है उस समय बॉडी का हर पॉइंट पे, राइट, जब बॉडी ऊपर से नीचे गिर रही है उस समय बॉडी का जो टोटल एनर्जी होता है वो हर पॉइंट पे सेम होता है. सो फ्रॉम दिस ऑल डिस्कशन वी कैन से दैट द टोटल एनर्जी ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट is conserved or constant. Dear friends, our next concept is power. To understand this concept, let us discuss some questions which are given in your textbook. The very first question is, can your father climb the stairs as fast as you can? क्या आपके पापा जितने आप कोई स्टेयर्स चढ़ते हो क्या वो उतने फास्ट चढ़ पाएंगे? तो इसका आंसर है नहीं. एंड द सेकेंड क्वेश्चन इज, विल यू फिल द ओवरहेड टैंक विद द हेल्प ऑफ बकेट और विद द हेल्प ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर? आपको कोई ओवरहेड टैंक को फिल करना है, पानी से भरना है, क्या आप ये काम बकेट से करोगे या फिर मोटर लगा के करोगे? तो ऑफ कोर्स ये काम हम मोटर लगा के ही करेंगे, क्योंकि हमको पता है जब हम बकेट से ये काम करेंगे तो हमको ज्यादा समय लगता है, राइट? अगर यही काम हम मोटर लगा के करते हैं तो हमको कम समय लगेगा. वर्क तो सेम हो रहा है ना, दोनों भी केसेस में सेम वर्क हो रहा है, हमको वो टैंक को ही फिल करना है, लेकिन एक केस में आपको समय कम लगेगा और दूसरे केस में समय ज्यादा लगेगा. एंड द थर्ड क्वेश्चन इज, राजश्री, यश एंड रंजित हैव टू रीच द टॉप ऑफ स्मॉल हिल. राजश्री वेंट बाय कार, यश वेंट बाय साइकिल and Ranjit went by walking. If all of them choose the same path, so who will reach first and who will reach last? क्वेश्चन क्या है? राजश्री, यश और रंजित को एक छोटे से हिल पे जाना है, लेकिन राजश्री कार से गई, यश साइकिल से गया और रंजित जो है वो पैदल गया. इन तीनों केसेस में उन्होंने सेम पाथ को चूज किया, वहां तक जाने का सेम रास्ता ढूंढा उन्होंने. तो ऐसे केस में सबसे पहले हिल पे कौन पहुंचेगा और सबसे लास्ट कौन पहुंचेगा? दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. ये बड़ा ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. जब कोई कार से जा रहा है तो वो पहले पहुंचेगा, बाइसिकल वाला उसके बाद में पहुंचेगा, और जो पैदल जा रहा है वो सबसे लास्ट में पहुंचेगा. तीनों को भी सेम टास्क करना है, सेम वर्क करना है, लेकिन पहले केस में वर्क जल्दी हो रहा है, सेकंड केस को थोड़ा ज्यादा समय लग रहा है और थर्ड केस में सबसे ज्यादा समय लग रहा है. सो इस एग्जांपल में वर्क सेम हो रहा है, लेकिन किसी को समय ज्यादा लग रहा है या फिर किसी को समय कम लग रहा है. ये वर्क करने में जब समय ज्यादा या फिर कम लगता है तो इसको हम एक्सप्रेस करते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ पावर. द फास्ट और स्लो रेट ऑफ वर्क डन इज एक्सप्रेस इन द टर्म ऑफ पावर. So what is the definition of power? The power is rate of performing the work, right? कितने समय में given work हो रहा है, इसी को हम बोलते हैं power. So from this discussion we can write the mathematical formula. Power is equal to क्या रहेगा? Work divided by time. So the rate of doing work is called as power, and power is denoted by letter P. Therefore P is equal to वर्क को हम W से डिनोट करते हैं और टाइम को स्मॉल t से. ओके, सो व्हाट इज द फार्मूला फॉर पावर? दैट इज P is equal to W divided by T. So from this equation, that is P is equal to W by T, we can find the SI unit for power. As we know that what is the unit for work? The unit for work is joule. And what is the unit for time? The unit for time is second. So the unit for power is joule per second. Joule per second is the SI unit of power. This joule per second is also known as watt. ये joule per second को क्या बोलते हैं हम? Watt. Okay. Therefore 1 watt is equal to कितना रहेगा? 1 joule divided by 1 second. But इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर में हम ये वैट यूज नहीं करते हैं, हम वहां पे यूज करते हैं एचपी. आपने सुना होगा कोई मोटर वगैरह होता है तो उसका पावर हम एचपी में मेजर करते हैं. एचपी स्टैंड्स फॉर हॉर्स पावर. ओके, हॉर्स पावर. 1 HP इज इक्वल टू 1 हॉर्स पावर. सो हम वहां पे वैट यूज नहीं करते, वहां पे एचपी यूज कर सकते हैं. सो व्हाट इज द रिलेशन? 1 HP दैट इज 1 हॉर्स पावर इज इक्वल टू 746 वैट्स. क्या आएगा? 1 HP is equal to 746 watts. This is the relationship between the horsepower and watt. अगर एक सेकेंड में 1000 जूल वर्क होता है, राइट? 1000 जूल वर्क इज परफॉर्म इन 1 सेकेंड, देन इट इज कॉल्ड एज 1 किलोवाट. तो 1 किलोवाट को क्या लिख सकते हैं हम? 1 किलोवाट इज इक्वल टू 1000 जूल divided by 1 second, right? If 1000 joule work is done in 1 second, that is called as 1 kilowatt. Okay. If 1000 joule work is done in 1 second, that is called as 1 kilowatt power. ये हमेशा ध्यान में रखना है. जो इलेक्ट्रिकल पर्पस में या फिर इलेक्ट्रिक बिल जो होता है वो यूनिट्स में होता है. आपने देखा होगा कि बिजली का जो बिल होता है वो हम यूनिट्स में मेजर करते हैं. सो 1 यूनिट इज इक्वल टू होता है 1 किलोवाट आवर, राइट? क्या रिलेशन होता है? 1 यूनिट इज इक्वल टू होता है 1 किलोवाट आवर. अब ये किलोवाट आवर क्या है? इफ 1 किलोवाट पावर इज यूज फॉर 1 आवर, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज 1 किलोवाट आवर. सो व्हाट इज 1 किलोवाट आवर? सो 1 किलोवाट आवर कितना रहेगा फिर? 1 किलोवाट आवर इज इक्वल टू 1 किलोवाट इंटू 1 आवर, राइट? 1 किलोवाट आवर क्या रहेगा? 1 किलोवाट इंटू 1 आवर. Okay. So here 1 kilowatt means what? 1000 watt. So in place of 1 kilowatt we can write 1000 watt. Okay. Into what is 1 hour? 1 hour में कितने सेकंड होते हैं? तो in 1 hour there are 3600 सेकंड. Okay. तो इसको हम ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. 1 किलोवाट इज इक्वल टू 1 किलोवाट आवर इज इक्वल टू 1 किलोवाट इंटू 1 आवर. 1 किलोवाट इज इक्वल टू 1000 वैट इंटू 1 आवर इज इक्वल टू क्या रहेगा? 3600 सेकेंड. सो ये रहेगा यहाँ पे सेकेंड. ओके, इफ यू सॉल्व दिस देन यू विल गेट दिस इज 36 1 का 36 और कितने जीरो देने हैं यहाँ पे? 3 और 2 5 0 1 2 3 4 5. Therefore 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 36 5 times 0. अगर इसको हम 10 के पावर में एक्सप्रेस करते हैं तो हमारा आंसर आएगा 1 किलोवाट आवर इज इक्वल टू 3.6 इंटू 10 to the power 6 joules. Okay. So this is the relationship between 1 kilowatt hour and joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. तो इस तरह बच्चों हमारे यहाँ पे सेकंड चैप्टर का दैट इज वर्क एंड एनर्जी का दी एंड हो चुका है. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में नए टॉपिक के साथ. लेकिन हाँ, उससे पहले अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगता है तो वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिए और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकन को प्रेस करना ना भूलें। मिलते हैं बहुत जल्दी एक नए टॉपिक के साथ। टिल देन, बाय बाय एंड टेक केयर।